Welcome to the viewing room.
Step behind the veil with us. We have an extra guest this time.
It's very loud.
Yeah, you can probably...
Fix it up.
So this is episode 6, and it is funeral home paranormal stories.
I dug through so many forums for freaking days.
Yeah.
And I felt like none of the stories were just like
The vibe?
like vibing.
That's there.
Like they weren't hitting me right.
I had different ones picked at first, and then now I've changed my mind, so...
Which is fair. Which is fair.
Maybe we'll keep those ones for next time.
Ow!
All right, so do you want to go first? Here.
Yeah, sure.
Here's just
Open up your device.
Ow, Jacob. If you're wondering, my sister named him after Jacob from Twilight. He used to be my sister's cat before she moved away.
Okay. So, it's from Reddit by Morgan Bryant 994. It says, my experiences growing up in an extremely haunted funeral home as a child. Hello, everyone. My name is Megan. I'm 35 years old, and I grew up in Kentucky. This is when I was about 5. My parents bought a funeral home, and it was well over 100 years old when they bought it. They owned and ran the funeral home, and it's a pretty large funeral home in my area. We lived in the upstairs area of the funeral home. They still own and operate the funeral home to this day, and I visit pretty regularly, occasionally have experiences. I had a very interesting childhood growing up, so this is going to be a long read. As a child, I had many experiences. Every day, all the way up until I moved out at 19. Some were terrifying, and some were comforting. We had many resident spirits, and that just stayed around. Some were human, some definitely weren't. Each had its own personality and temperament. I still have experiences to this day when I go visit my parents. The first experience I remember when I was about 6 years old, I was sitting on the couch in one of the viewing rooms, and I got the feeling of being watched. I looked up and saw a woman standing in the corner of the room. She was a young woman in her mid-20s. She was wearing a black dress. She was very pale, and she had long red hair. She smiled and waved at me and said, "Hello, little girl." I said hello back, and she smiled again, then disappeared. She would become known as Alice. She was the most extroverted and nice of the resident spirits in the funeral home. She was very talkative. I formed a very good relationship with her, and she pretty much became like a second mother to me. She was the matriarch spirit in the funeral home. Here's a summary of my experience with her. So, 1, I would see her almost every day, standing in corners or in the middle of the room. 2, she was always smiling, and she always said hello. When I would get off the bus from school, she would always be standing there when I would walk in the door to greet me. She would smile and say hello, and she would ask how my day was. I would say hello and tell her about my day, and then she would disappear. 3, one time in high school, I snuck out to go to a party, and she appeared in my room and told me that my mother was waiting up for me. 4, she protected me from one of the darker, non-human spirits that hung out in the embalming room. The first time, I wandered into the embalming room right after we moved in and saw a spirit that definitely didn't seem human. It looked like a young girl that was wearing a gray t-shirt and black pants. Its skin was like scales, and it was very reptilian looking. It had a forked tongue like a snake and red eyes. The first time I saw it, it wandered into the embalming room for the first time. I was just exploring right after we moved in. I heard a loud growl and was looking up, and it was just standing there staring at me. I was paralyzed with fear. Then Alice appeared, and it looked at her and kind of leaned its head to the side like a dog that's curious about something. She told it to leave me alone, and it growled and took a step towards me. Alice then stepped in front of me, and this reptilian thing looked absolutely terrified. Then Alice stuck her arm out, and this thing started to levitate and was choking. It looked like Darth Vader choke. I laughed at that part. Alice then moved her arm to the side, and it flew across the wall and disappeared. After that, Alice turned around, got to her knees in front of me, and told me to be more careful, and then disappeared. And when I think about that, I just think about, like,
Force joke.
Very dramatically.
Yeah.
I don't know if Alice is human, but I'm not sure if you guys can tell me what you think. She is seemingly very powerful. Now to give a summary of my experiences with the reptilian spirit. 1, The experience with Alice protected me. 2, one time I saw it in one of the hallways and it climbed up the wall into the ceiling and just stared at me and growled and then disappeared. 3, I saw it every time I walked in or past the embalming room. It would just stand there and stare. It never tried to attack me. I think it was because Alice scared it to death.
I think it's already dead.
It's dead. Now to talk about the spirit that we called the Gray Man. We would see him in the chapel. He was tall and was wearing a gray suit and black tie. Most of the time, he just stood there. Sometimes he would wave. He was an older man. He never really bothered anybody. He typically just kept to himself. He was quite protective over the organ in the chapel. Maybe that's what he was attached to. There was this spirit of a little girl that hung out in the living room. She wore a pink dress and had long blonde hair. Most of the time, you would hear laughing when she would appear in front of you, then run away and disappear. And there was the spirit we called the General. He was a young man that wore what looked like military dress uniform from possibly the Civil War. He never really said anything to us, but he was always polite and would tip his hat when we would see him. There was an elderly couple that we would sometimes see standing side by side, and they were dressed in Victorian-style clothes. That's just some of the experience that my family and I had. Let me know if you guys think, blah, 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 and stuff. What it got me interested in that one is that there was so many, like a different variety of them.
Yeah.
And it seemed like more than one person encountered them.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, the whole force choke thing
I know.
seems a little
That seems pretty far-fetched.
dramatic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But the other things, that Gray Man, maybe he was the organ player.
Yeah.
That's why he's attached to the organ.
Yeah. Like I said, I like how there was so many
Variety.
a variety. And I like how they said that when they were talking about it, they said that we would see her.
Yeah.
Or we
so
would
more
see
than
them.
one person.
Yeah. So it makes it seem, I don't want to say more real, but like more believable, I guess. So like
that reptile thing would scare me if it.
Right.
But like, what would it be?
I have no idea.
Some kind of demon, like the ones that live in Hollywood. The reptilian people.
Don't get me started. Part of a cult, right? Like the fact, the fact that they were like said that the ghosts could like fully communicate.
Yeah.
And have conversations.
Kind of rare. Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
Because that would take
a lot of energy.
A lot of energy to be able to do that. So to have ghosts like that with that amount of energy in one place, that'd be wild.
Yes. Mine are shorter. I actually might read another one too that I have that's also short. It's on Reddit. I just gotta find it. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Luckily, we can time travel.
Yeah. So this is from a Reddit user named Atticus_Pund1. So it is about his dad. He owned a funeral home when he was younger, and his dad's friend had passed away. So he was dealing with his friend's body, preparing it, getting it ready. And he went down into the basement for something and was dealing with something else. And he clearly heard his friend say, "I don't want to go yet," as if he was like arguing with someone or something. So then he came back upstairs because he obviously was freaked out because he was working alone that night and he knew his friend's voice. So he came back upstairs to see what was going on, and honestly, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't want to go yet. Well, that's stupid.
Yeah, I wonder like who he's talking to. Grim Reaper. And then I might read 2 more ones. So this one's not really funeral, but you donate like tissue and stuff and organs and blah, blah, blah. You have to go through like a pathologist's office or just like that kind of environment first before you come to the funeral home. Sometimes they will do it at the funeral home too, but anyways, this one says, "I used to work in tissue recovery. My least favorite part was prepping the donor for recovery process as it included shaving the arms and legs. Once we had a donor who was very freshly deceased. I was holding his hand to shave his arm, and his fingers curled around my hand as rigor mortis set in. That was exceptionally creepy. So obviously it's not paranormal, but it's still creepy. And then I have like something to add for that from my experience, which was creepy. Not paranormal, but it still scared the shit out of me. So I was once breaking rigor in someone, so we have to like raise their arms, raise their legs, like stretch out their fingers and everything. And it was a little old lady. I was standing in front of her, so I had her arm like laid out like this, and I was kind of just moving her legs and everything. And as I was moving her leg, her arm like not twitched, but like moved while I was moving her, and she like slapped my ass.
Yeah, I probably would have fought her.
I jumped so high. I was like,
Dinner
oh my
first.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was scary. I did not expect that to happen.
You ever been felt up by a corpse before?
Yes. Yeah, no, not expecting that. And then I have one more, which is also short. So I found it online somewhere. It says, this is a friend of a friend story. She, a mortician, met some guy at the bar. They hit it off and she gave him her number. Within a couple days, she found out that the guy had died in a car accident because his body had ended up at her place of work. Before the funeral service, she received several calls from an unknown number. Whenever she picked up, there was no response. Eventually, she got the eerie hunch that maybe it was him, and proceeded to address him by name, telling him to pass in peace and stop calling, and it worked. She stopped getting these creepy phone calls.
You know what? If a man or woman wanted me so bad that they kept contacting me after death
Beyond the grave.
from beyond the grave, I'd be fucking flattered.
Right?
That takes devotion.
He had unfinished business that he wanted
Devotion.
to let her know that she was cute.
Devotion. Like, damn, that is one fine body.
It reminds me of another story I've read where they were in the middle of calling the person as they died, and then they just kept getting like creepy calls from the number.
Yeah. I read one where they buried the same person twice.
What?
Yeah, they buried this one guy in one summer, and you know, they remembered they buried him because it was like raining outside, and they remembered his name and everything. And then this guy showed up on their table, and the person that just started working was like, "We've seen him before."
Do you have a twin?
No. And the person's like, I remember this guy because this was the first funeral I actually helped with.
Oh. What?
So he went to the back, he like checked, you know, like the cause of death and the deceased
and stuff
and logs and everything, and it was the same guy. And then the head honcho came in. I can't remember his name, like the actual full-on certified embalmer or whatever funeral director came in, and he was like, "We've definitely buried that guy before."
What the heck?
So they went and they buried him again, and then they were like, "Let's hope he chooses to
stay
down there this time."
That's so weird.
That is weird.
Was it a relative that had the same name?
I have no idea.
It looked the same?
Because it was apparently in a super small town, so they mentioned that.
Huh.
So if there was two people with the same name, they'd know about it.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, that's really weird. We have quite a few viewer entries this time.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll read one, you read one. They're not technically related to funerals, but they're still creepy.
Yeah.
So the first one I'll read is from my sister.
And we want to be able to share as many of your guys' encounters and stuff as possible.
We love when you actually reply and send them in because it's entertaining to read.
Dude, the amount of joy it gives me.
Mm-hmm.
My depression, gone.
For a little.
For a bit.
And then it's back.
It's back.
Okay, so this one's from my sister. So she says this, when Brandon and I first started dating, Brandon's obviously her boyfriend, baby daddy, we went to the Fort Sanitarium. So there's an old, where it's obviously in Fort, it's not there anymore. They've torn the building down, but it used to be a sanitarium. She said it was abandoned a long time ago. It used to be a tuberculosis hospital, basically where everyone went to die. And then it was used as a training center for some type of wilderness group type thing, I think, at one point. Anyways, it was abandoned when we went. We found the entrance at the side of the building and walked inside. It was creepy AF. A bunch of
Hospitable.
a bunch of hospital beds were still there, wheelchairs, and a bunch of paperwork was thrown everywhere. Obviously, people had been in there and vandalized it. We started walking downstairs, and a bunch of bats flew at us. Oh my god, that would be so... I would love that. Bats are so cute.
Scooby-Doo.
Right? We got a scary feeling, so we turned back around. We started going to the main foyer area where the original front door would have been.
Is it foyer or foyer?
I don't know. I don't care. But we opened the doors and immediately started hearing a creepy voice and the sound of chains dragging. We both heard it and got scared shitless. Then we left. We didn't see anything, but the whole place just had an eerie feeling, and I swear it was a ghost. We didn't see any other people or hear anyone else around, just that one weird noise and the chain sounds.
God, that'd be terrifying, but that'd be so cool.
I've been there after they tore the building down, and even without the building there, like, it's still got such a creepy, eerie vibe to it. There was so much death there.
Well, yeah, there's gonna be. Also, the Wilderness Training Center, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a odd thing.
That's really weird.
There after
the TB.
Okay.
Also, if there was a wilderness thing and after the TB, why was there still the medical beds?
I'm wondering if they must have just kept that stuff in the basement and never got rid of it. And then
they probably just used one part of it too.
Yeah, not the whole building.
Also, when you said beds, all I could think was a free nap.
I want to lay on that. Yeah. Okay, this one is from Amanda, so there's 2 parts to it.
Kit. All right. I used to live in a house years ago where things were just always happening, but they weren't too scary. Like I would always feel a cat brush against my leg doing dishes or jump on my bed when I was laying down. A friend of mine always told me he saw ghosts there, but I never thought too much about it until one night. I woke up hearing scratching on my front door, and when I sat up to see what was going on, there was a young woman standing by my bed in a nightgown. Okay, that went in a different direction, I thought. I woke my boyfriend at the time up, and he telling me it was a bad dream, but I knew I was waking when it happened and was super mad because he was being a jerk about it. Not even a week later, he woke up to the same sound and he saw the same woman. He was not the type to scare easy at all, but he was freaking out. Like he cried and apologized. And he couldn't go back to sleep without sleep medication. I'd never seen him like that before. The next morning when we got up and we were talking about it, he was still apologizing for not believing me. And we went to our front door to see if we were just tripping out or the scratching was actually at the front door. And I ran my nails down it and the noise was exactly the same. So freaks me out to this day thinking about that.
Ew. That's creepy. My husband has a story similar to that when he was little, he woke up to a woman in a nightgown floating above him in his bed.
Dude, I would throw hands.
Yeah, he said it happened more than once, too.
I'd be so mad.
Creepy. I'm glad I've never had an experience like that. I've had quite a few, but nothing like that.
I used to have so many when I lived in that one house. Like, I gotta
probably
make a list.
I'd seen at the house where that video.
Yeah. Should make lists.
Okay, so we've got 2 more. This one is from Emma. She's like, okay, mine is a long one and it's kind of fucked up, but here we go. When I was 14, I bought a Ouija board and went to go hang out with this guy and do acid in a graveyard, and the Ouija board was in my trunk at the time and I forgot about it. Anywho, a week later, I remembered it and brought it into my house, and ever since then, things had been happening. She's like, I'm putting them in order. Number 1. I always felt like someone was watching me in our basement living room. And then one day I was playing guitar pretty loud, and as soon as I went to go mute the chords, I heard a loud shush in my ear and felt it, and my hair literally moved from it. 2. I had a poster of Jim Morrison on my door because I thought that was funny.
Classic.
And one night, it was just me and my dog at home. It was storming and there was a giant crash of thunder, but it was so loud, it sounded like someone body checked my door, and my dog started losing her shit. I opened the door and my poster was on the ground, torn in half, and there was a scratch that looked similar to a J on the door. Then a couple weeks later, there's another storm, and I was watching Jim Morrison's last 72 hours. And as soon as he died, the power in my house went out completely, and I couldn't turn it back on until my parents got home. So basically, I thought I was being possessed by Jim Morrison. Long story short, friend and I went to the psychic fair when we were working at Smitty's, and the old lady there told me that there was something blocking me from the light of God. And I told her that I thought Jim Morrison was haunting me, and she said no, but there is something with you that's very, very dark and is putting you in danger, blocking you from the light of God. And I was like, oh, well, can you tell me who it is? And she said, it's too dark. I would be putting myself at risk to confront it. It's not Jim Morrison. It's pretending to be to get closer to you. And she's like, there's something else you're not telling me that's still blocking you from the light of God. And I felt the urge to tell her about the acid, and she's like, the acid opened up a portal and the Ouija board let in the demon. Then we got the house exercised, and I moved and gave the Ouija board to a witch.
Yeah, I don't mess with Ouija boards.
No.
One time, my dad decided to get me a Ouija board for Christmas, I think it was. And it was cool. It was a glow-in-the-dark one, but I never took it out of the dang package. Kept it in a closet because shit was already happening. Yeah, I don't want to.
They're like portals.
Ouija board. So yeah, I threw it in a closet, and then I wouldn't sleep in my room because so eventually I was like, Dad, we got to get rid of this fucking thing. So we took it and I traded it for Horsopoly.
Even better.
Even better.
I have cows.
I still have it. I still have my Horsopoly. Except the Exorcist one I gave that. No, that's a Ouija board.
No, that's what you need.
Yeah, that's what I gave you.
It's downstairs.
That's not
That
Monopoly.
also glows in the dark.
Yeah.
It's got like the creepy, you'll burn in hell and other things.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, do you know who'd like this?
It's in a box still.
Yours.
All right, and then we have one more from someone that
Top 84X. Ow. I was driving in my semi in northern Alberta at night, and there is a bridge in a reserve over a creek. As I came to the bridge, a ghost appeared in the middle of the bridge. I hit it, and as it was passing through the truck, I could feel its fingers drag through my legs. My legs hurt for about a week after that.
Ew. That makes me think of Gothica.
Man, though, I'd honestly be so mad. Like, what are you doing randomly showing up in the road and then making my legs cramp for an entire week?
Yeah. But do you think that's how they died, though? They got hit by a...
Possibly. There's also a bridge there. Wasn't there? Over the creek, or they jumped off. Was it a woman in white?
Right? That's what makes me think of the movie Gothica.
Yeah.
Was it raining?
Was it raining? We need more information.
Right. I asked if they had any more info, but that was it.
I'm gonna message them. I'm gonna be like, okay, I need more information.
But I feel like that
Questions.
like a lot of the time I feel like when they like die traumatically, they're stuck
Yeah.
where they died.
When that traumatically, or even when people can't let go.
Yeah. This is a touchy subject. My husband's best friend took his own life a few years ago. And right after he passed away, my son was probably 2 at the time. And he kept waking up with nightmares and saying he could see this creepy thing, like person in the corner of his room that had a messed up face. And the way that he passed, his face would have been messed up.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe it was him, because you never got to meet him. So I was like, well, maybe it was him coming to say hi or goodbye, but accidentally being creepy.
Yeah, that could, yeah.
Because he saw him, I think, like a few, maybe 4 or 5 times, and then that was it. I think it was him.
Oh, there's also one I heard. These two guys were in a cemetery, right?
Mm.
They're walking down a path and they pass this lady. She was about, I don't know, 74-ish, but she was wearing, I think, a tracksuit and a kind of like a bucket hat. But it had, the one guy said it had polka dots on it, right? So they were walking down farther and they walked a far bit away and then suddenly she was right behind them.
Oh.
Like she would have had to been like sprinting and they would have heard that.
A
But
70-year-old sprinting.
Yeah, but she's like, excuse me, do you know how to get out of here?
Wearing a tracksuit.
Man, her shoes must have had flames on them. Like, she's just Michael Myers in disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, they were like, this woman, like, she caught up out of nowhere, right? And asked how to get out. And they're like, you just go this way and this way, right? So then they left her because what else are you going to fucking do at that point? And then they got home and they were telling people about it. And the one guy was like, she was wearing a polka dot hat. And the other guy was like, no, she was wearing a straw hat. So they had this argument on what hat she was wearing and whatnot.
Huh.
But, like, that is something you would recognize. Like, because either a straw hat or a polka dot hat would probably stand out.
It's just weird that they both saw something different.
Yeah.
With the same person.
Yeah, super fucking odd.
It's like she's dead. That's probably why she's asked how to get out, because she was lost.
She's fucking confused.
Or she had dementia.
Dementia, and somehow was just a really quiet sprinter.
Yeah, really fast.
Running on clouds, that one.
Yeah. Those wings on her shoes, like
Hermes? Flames
her
and
tracksuit.
wings.
That's, when you said the tracksuit, though, I can't picture an old lady wearing a tracksuit.
I don't know if it was a tracksuit. I can't remember what she was wearing.
That makes me think of, like, chavs. A little chav old lady wearing an Adidas tracksuit.
That's how I'm trying to be honest.
Yeah, sounds good. Confuse people in a cemetery.
Yeah.
Spook them.
Yeah.
Goals.
It's like me making cryptid noises at people when we're on our walks.
They're like, did you hear that?
We took mood.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know which one of these stories was your favorite and which one gave you the chills.
And I will try to work on my reading. Because I'm on the
You go too fast sometimes.
I know, and I try to slow down.
Your brain's just like...
I think, well, I'm a really fast reader.
In your head, yeah.
And out loud, apparently. So...
let's see what the next episode is.
It's the cryptid.
I never remember. But I've been saying it's the cryptid for the last, like, 3 episodes, and it's not been. Yes, it is. Episode 7 is cryptids. I've been saying that, though, for the last 3 episodes, and then I'm like, nope, it's not.
Nope.
I'm wrong.
It's not, man.
Yeah, so it's cryptids, and then the one after that is regional paranormal, and we're going to read some stories about the Appalachian Mountains.
Also, you just must really want to hear more about cryptids.
Yeah. I just need to find some stories to share for that, because I don't know anything other than, like, the whistling and stuff like that, but...
Don't whistle at night. And if something whistles back...
Run away.
You're supposed to pretend it doesn't exist.
Well, I'm still running away. Maybe I just felt like running. They don't know me.
Yeah, you don't. I'm going, fuck.
Bye.
Wow, what a time to get into sprinting.
Gotta get my steps in.
Some beautiful weather.
All right. Well, rest easy.
If you can.
Good night.